you all. Welcome to this live broadcast, live event. Thank you for joining us today. And we are talking about 5 things innovative leaders should know. 5 things innovative leaders should know. Let me start with asking how many of you believe leadership today requires more creativity than ever before? Just think about that. It's a question to start with. How many of you think that leadership today requires more creativity than ever before? I'm one of those who believe that that is what it is. Now, let's dive into the 5 things that every leader should know. The first thing I want to talk about today is that innovation starts with mindset, not technology. Innovation starts with mindset, not technology. Unfortunately, many people think innovation is all about tools. Innovation is all about AI or new systems. But in reality, innovation begins with how leaders think. How leaders think. How do you think as a leader? That's where innovation begins. So, innovative leaders encourage curiosity because they think creatively. So, when a leader thinks creatively, the leader encourages curiosity. Innovative leaders are very good at encouraging curiosity. Innovative leaders challenge status quo. They challenge status quo. Things must not remain the way they are. So let's move things around and cause some new developments, some creative, innovation to happen. Innovative leaders ask better questions instead of accepting old answers. They ask better questions instead of accepting old answers. So many of organizations invest thousands of dollars in technology, but they still struggle to innovate. Have you thought about that before? Why would many organizations invest a lot of money in technology, yet they struggle to innovate? You know, that is just because innovation starts with the mindset of the leader, not with the money, not with technology, not with the amount of money we can invest. Innovation starts with the mindset of the leader. A leader who constantly asks questions like, how can we do this better? That leader encourages a culture where improvement never stops. That leader encourages a culture where improvement never stops. So take for example, a manager once asked their team member every Friday, what is one thing we could improve next week? Every Friday, this leader asked the team members, what is one thing we can improve next week? You know what that leader is doing? Over the weekend, these team members will ponder and reflect over that question. If they don't give the leader immediate response, when they come the following week, you see a lot of responses. So over time, small improvements lead to big results. Over time, small improvements lead to big results. So when a leader creates a culture where people feel safe to think differently, innovation naturally follows. Innovation naturally follows. So that's number one. Innovation starts with mindset, not technology. Number two, psychologically, innovation is supposed to happen in a system where there is safety. So psychological safety drives creativity. Psychological safety drives creativity. So people really, share bold ideas if they fear criticism or failure. If they feel that their leader is going to criticize them, or they feel that they are going to fail because nobody will support them, they shut down. They shut down. So innovative leaders create environment where team members can, number one, share ideas freely. Number two, experiment without punishment. Experiment your ideas without punishment. Okay, if I fail, nobody's gonna punish me about this. You know, if I don't succeed with my ideas, nobody is gonna kill me. I will not be sacked. I will not be called to a panel. My salary will not be reduced. I will not be reassigned to a lower level, or it will not hamper my growth. So if team members, if employees know that experimenting will happen without punishment, for better or worse, results, they go ahead and experiment. So innovative leaders create an environment where the employees and team members learn from mistakes. They learn from mistakes. Make those mistakes and learn from your mistakes. So if people are afraid of making mistakes, they will never share both ideas. They will never share both ideas. So innovative leaders should know this. If you want your team to succeed, if you want your company to succeed, allow people to share their ideas. Let them make those mistakes, and things can happen. It doesn't matter. But let it be something that is within what the organization can handle so it doesn't blow the system completely. Now, think about team members. Let me give this example. Think about team members where people say nothing in meetings. Think about a team where people say nothing in their meetings. Often it's not because they lack ideas, it's not because they don't know what to say, it's because they fear criticism. They fear criticism. They fear that the leader will shut them down, or the leader will embarrass them, or that some of them team members will embarrass them because the leader can't even lead the team. The leader can put everybody on check and create an environment where people are safe to discuss their ideas, whether their ideas are good to fly or they are not good to fly. So innovative leaders create spaces where people can speak freely, where people can speak freely. So if you're an innovative leader, create that space where people can speak freely in your organization. You could also create a space where people can, your team members can interact with themselves, among themselves. Because when people feel safe to contribute, creativity increases dramatically. When people feel safe to contribute, creativity increases dramatically. But when people are not safe, when people don't feel safe to contribute, of course, things will go down. Things will go down. When people feel safe, they contribute more ideas, and more ideas increase the chances of breakthrough innovation. More good ideas, more powerful ideas, you know, creates that increase the chances of innovation breakthrough. Okay, so number three, innovation requires continuous learning. Innovation requires continuous learning. So you're gonna keep learning. You're gonna keep learning. You don't stop learning. You encourage your team members to learn, learn, learn. Let them experiment. Let them go out and take some short courses. Learn more ways of doing things. The world changes fast. The world changes fast. So leaders who stop learning become, outdated. If you stop learning as a leader, you become outdated. So innovative leaders stay curious. They stay curious. They watch the trends, and they want to learn the next approach, and develop the next strategy. They read, they listen, and they learn constantly. They read, they listen, they learn constantly. They adapt to new information. They don't stay obsolete. They don't shut down their borders and say, no, this new idea, let's not bring it in. They learn through new ideas, new information. So the best leaders always learning. The best leaders are always learning. Innovative leaders are always learning. Let me give this example. Many successful leaders spend time reading, listening to podcasts, attending workshops, and learning from mentors. That's what they do. Imagine in a situation where you return home from work and you spend some time to listen to podcasts about your business ideas or your company kind of ideas and all that you do. You listen to podcasts in that direction, in that field, and then you listen to politics. Know what is going on around the world that you serve. You listen to various things, and learn and hear things, and then you intentionally, mark my word, intentionally attend workshops where you can learn more, and of course submit yourself to mentoring processes, which is very important. A leader who stops learning eventually stops leading effectively. A leader who stops learning eventually stops leading effectively. The leader may not agree, may not accept it, but that's what the world will see. That's what the world will see. Because I don't know who is that leader who sees his or her back. If you stop learning, you stop, eventually you stop leading effectively. So innovative leaders understand that learning is not optional, it's a leadership responsibility. Learning is not optional, it's a leadership responsibility. And number four, collaboration beats individual genius. Beats individual genius. When we collaborate, when innovative leaders collaborate, they're able to come up with more creative ideas than when they run solo. Innovation is really the result of one brilliant person. It's really the result of one brilliant person. It's usually it usually comes from diverse perspectives working together. Diverse perspectives working together. No innovation had ever happened because one person just thought about it and started doing it. No, innovation, no matter how big or small they happen because people came together and reflected and thought over something and they started doing it. So yeah, someone can, like inject the idea. It may come from someone, it may be the principal idea of someone, but then that individual cannot run solo, cannot run alone with that idea, because you need multiple views, to make sure that you're thinking and you're reasoning appropriately. So innovative leaders build diverse teams. They build diverse teams. They encourage cross department collaboration. They encourage cross department collaboration. They invite different viewpoints. They invite different viewpoints. So because that's very important. You build diverse teams, you encourage cross department collaboration, and you invite different viewpoints. Innovation really comes from one person alone, like I said before. Some of the best solutions come when people from different backgrounds share perspectives. When people from different backgrounds share perspectives. So the more diverse the ideas in the room, the stronger the solution. The more diverse the ideas in the room, the stronger the solution. The more perspectives in the room, the stronger and more creative the solution. Yeah, because people come from different walks of life, from different backgrounds, from different cultures, and all that. So think about trying to create the trying to innovate on this phone, and you want to, like, create a new kind of product that we that will sell so fast. and become like the innovative phone. Now you can't do that alone. You have to like do some market survey. In doing some market survey, you don't just survey a particular culture, because it's not just one culture that uses the cell phone. You have to like experiment, survey, a whole lot of situations and cultures, and see how people are responding to what we have today and what you're trying to create. Sample opinions of people. So, and that gives your product that kind of acceptance and landing that it needs to make a good impact in the world. So innovative leaders create that space where people can collaborate and bring in more ideas. And finally, number 5, execution matters more than ideas. Execution of your plan matters more than the ideas. You may have good ideas, but if you don't execute well, those ideas are you know they may be good for nothing. Ideas are important, but execution creates impact. Ideas are important, but execution creates impact. So innovative leaders do the following. Number 1, turn ideas into action. I have good ideas, but that's not where you should end. Turn those ideas into action. That's number 1. Number 2, they test ideas quickly. They test ideas quickly. They don't have ideas and they shovel it. They hide it. They put it to test. They test ideas quickly to make sure that, hey, this is something that we should be working on, or this is the right direction to go. And then they measure results and adjust. So they put out their prototypes, they measure their result at the end of the process, and then they adjust. So if you put out your prototypes and people respond to it, you see what they are responding to, you see where there is acceptance or where there is rejection. Now, where there is acceptance, you increase on that aspect. You do more to, make it happen, make it stay, steady and connected. And then where there is a disagreement, where there is rejection, you find out why the rejection. You don't shut it down. You don't shovel it. You find out why the rejection, and then you work on that aspect and see how you can move things around based on the feedback that you received. And if even after doing that, you send out your prototype again the second time, you receive feedback, you adjust again, and you send out your prototype. Before that innovation will be we hit the ground running, you must have gotten a lot of feedbacks, and you must have done several prototypes to make sure that you get to the result that you're looking for. Very important. So everyone has ideas, like I said before, but innovative leaders turn ideas into action. Innovative leaders turn ideas into action. A team might brainstorm 10 ideas. They may come up with 10 ideas and brainstorm 10 ideas. An innovative leader tests them, measures results, and improves them. He tests them. The innovative leader, she tests those results, measures those results, and improves those results, and then send them out. you know so great ideas only matters when they are implemented. Great ideas only matters when they are implemented. You have great ideas but they are not implemented, nobody knows about it. But great ideas matters when they are implemented. The goal is not just to generate ideas, the goal is to implement ideas that create value. I said that again. The goal is not just to generate ideas, the goal is to implement ideas that create value. So if you're able to implement ideas that create value, then you have done well. Then there is innovation. But when there is no implementation of those ideas, there is problem. So let me recap before we close. Let me recap. The first one, remember very well that innovation begins and starts with mindset, not technology. And then, secondly, psychological safety drives creativity. Psychological safety drives creativity. And thirdly, innovation requires continuous learning. Innovation requires continuous learning. And the fourth point that we looked at is innovation happens because collaboration beats individual genius. So collaboration beats individual genius. And finally, the fifth point, execution matters more than ideas. Execution matters more than ideas. So great leaders don't just manage people, they create environments where innovation becomes the natural outcome. They create environments where innovation becomes the natural outcome. Okay? So, which of these five will you start practicing this week? As you move forward, which of these five points that we discussed will you start practicing this week? I'd like to see your comments in the comment section. And thank you so very much for joining us today. And if this lecture, if this message was helpful to you, share it with someone who is growing as a leader. Save it and share it with someone who is growing as a leader. And thank you so very much. I will see you in my next event. Bye for now.